Okay, first I'm gonna thank you again for being with us again. It's so nice and such a pleasure, great pleasure. Thank you for being so open and willing to talk to us again.
Yeah.
Divya is gonna ask you the first question. Okay.
Okay.
After,
Good.
Divya, you are back.
yes. Uh, After your awakening, how the process evolved until today? I mean, the interference of the mind. How you said that in the beginning the mind was very distant, and today, how does it work? How it relates to the past and future?
Mm.
Well, self-realization, it is like a debt. Hmm? It's a debt to the mind, your identification with this mind. And what happens when the mind, your persona, is gone? Then something real comes up. Something real comes forth, your essence. So that is what is meant by this, which you mentioned last time, this die before you die. And that is the whole secret. It's really the secret of life, to die before you die, because then, only then can you really live. Because you are not identified with your persona as a separate being, as a separate person. You're coming back to your essence. So that, of course, any debt takes away that which is false. Huh? And that which is real, that which is eternal, that is what is left. So when that happens, you are in a kind of emptiness, space. Like I said, like a vacuum, but that vacuum is blissful, is silence, is peaceful, a peace that passes all understanding. So it takes time. Well, took time for me to start functioning again, no? And it was very difficult to start communicating with the world around. And that's why I felt such a pull to the Himalayas. Because Osho had already left the body. Yeah, but on that level, he was maybe more there present than ever, because the whole mission for the master is that the disciple wakes up, no? So how does the disciple wake up? He goes beyond the personal, he goes beyond the ego. When you have gone beyond the ego, the mind, identification with the mind, you become one. So then the master is very happy, no? It worked. So that's why I said I went to the Himalayas together with my master, at last, free. So then it took many years to incorporate this. And I also met enlightened beings in this period that helped me settle in it, to recognize it, to talk about it like this, no? But it took maybe 5 years before I started sharing about it, because I had no interest of that, no. It's no doing left when you accept yourself as just a presence, then there is no doing left, that you have to do anything, no? Because everything happens. So it's like this. I will look at your question again. After your awakening, how was the process evolved until today? I mean the interference of the mind. After that, there is no interference of the mind. Because self-realization is a disidentification with the mind. And if it really happens, the mind is always a distance, because the mind is so little. You can imagine you have a ball, a balloon. Huh? You have a balloon that floats in the ocean, yeah? In the Atlantic Ocean. So little, no? But that is the mind. When you realize you are the ocean, you are the source, then it doesn't matter if the mind is there or not, because it's so tiny. It cannot disturb the ocean. It's impossible. So you use the mind, but you are not identified with it, no? Because you know who you are. It's like when you know, when you know you are a woman or a man, you know you are a woman, no? You don't think about that. You just know. Yeah? Easy. Yeah? Easy. So it's like that. Everything becomes easy because it's natural. But no, for some reason we are upside down. What is not really natural, we think is natural. To be identified with the mind, to be personal, to be separate from existence, that's what human thinks is normal, no? With the worries, with the fight, with the fear. And to be happy, to be at peace, that is not natural, no? So, there is no interference of the mind as such. You said that in the beginning the mind was very distant, and today how does it work? Well, it works pretty good because I can talk to you. But there is no interest, and that's why even now I think these interviews also, you ask for the interview. I'm open, but there is nothing for me that I want to talk about. How does it work? How is it related to the past and to the future? There is no going to the past or the future, because you are present in the here and now, and only life is here and now. Yeah? Life is here and now. So when you realize your true essence, your source, you're functioning from that. So when you ask something, then I can use my mind to go to the past or to tell some stories. Huh? But ordinary, I never go there. It's finished. And before awakening, it feels like a past life. It has nothing to do with this. Everything changed. It's like you lived in the dark and then it became light. It's two different things. No? So, how does it work? I don't know how it works. It's a mystery how it works. I'm also amazed how it works. It's totally a mystery. You can function much better without being there in a way, because something else takes over. So you don't have any worry. There's nothing on your shoulders.
Perfect.
I think I have a question that is related to that. I often listen to Osho's discourse where he says that the world of silence and the world of speaking, language, thoughts, concepts are two separated worlds. And it was very difficult for him, demanded a great effort to talk after a period of silence. And he talks a very interesting story about a man called Maga Baba. He says there was the most precious man he encountered. And Maga Baba asked him to talk to the world out of compassion to help people. Would you please comment that?
Well, it's my own experience also. It's very difficult. It is like a, for me it was like a retraining to function in the world. You have to start functioning. It's really like something is dead. You are reborn in a way, no? When Jesus talk about rebirth, no, all the spiritual tradition talks about this, no. Then it means that you have to start fresh. You start new again, no. So then you function from a place of innocence, of spontaneity, of presence. So you have this stored in your mind how to function, but you function in a different way then. And everything that you have been interested in is gone. Yeah, because that, whatever you have done will be from the ego, no? From your personality, from your thinking. So when that is gone, you are totally new, you are totally fresh again. So it's very difficult to function. And without the master, I think it's almost impossible to function like that. So I will look at that question. Osho said that to speak demands a great effort of him, especially coming out of a period of silence. Yeah. Because when you know yourself, there is really nothing to talk about anymore. You are just present with, like everything is present now. So what is that to talk about? You have no questions. You have no problems. You enjoy being. You enjoy silence. Everything is harmonious. So why talk? So the master knows that start talking is almost bound to become misunderstandings, thinking for people. Yeah, so Osho said, and that is the truth, that all awakened ones will be misunderstood, no? Because you talk from a different level. And then you have to learn to come down, try to come down on people's level, wherever they are. And that is also an art, because everybody is on different stages in the evolution. So you have to try to meet them where they are. And that is the art of the master, to try to bring that from beyond, that you cannot talk about, to bring that into this world, no? And when you touch somebody with that, but even then, you have to be open, you have to be receptive, you have to be longing. So if a longing heart, if a longing soul feels that or hears that, with nothing in between them and the master, then again the heart is ignited, the soul is ignited. So that starts a process by itself. And Osho said, he talked about this Mega Baba, who said Osho should try to help people to wake up. Yeah. is many ways when the awakening is happening, how depending on that person, of that individual person who has that experience. Because I know people who have just been in silence, who doesn't want to say anything. And you have people who are talking a lot, like Osho, you know. But he was a great, perfect vehicle for that because he was so super intelligent. Yeah, nobody could debate him. He was a professor. He was super intelligent. So that's why he became such a master of masters. He could spread it, and he has spread it to the whole world, no? But enlightenment as such, you can be as enlightened and just sit and do like a Ramana Maharshi. He didn't say hardly anything, just a few people were around, no? It was very hard for him to speak. He was just sitting in silence. So it is a great effort of compassion in a way for any enlightened ones, if they are really enlightened. I don't mean those who wants to be a master, or wants to speak, and wants to play that game from their knowledge. But if they really have been absorbed in the essence, in the silence, it will be difficult to talk and to reach people, no? So when Osho was a child, I think this Mega Baba, maybe it was the first enlightened one, and he must have, existence is like that. If you're really a longing soul, then somebody will come in your path, so you can get help, no? And Osho felt such a pull to this Mega Baba, who was just like a beggar. Totally, in India, is some of these saints, enlightened ones, they can look like beggars. So you have to have the eyes to see that they are really saints, they're not just beggars, no? So he went to this Mega Baba even in the night, and Mega Baba didn't want to talk to anybody. He was more in silence. They call him Mega Baba because he had the mug, and everything he needed came into that mug. He asked for food, he asked for water, he asked for some money maybe, and then whatever he needed came through that mug, Mega Baba. And he didn't want to talk to anybody, but he started to talk to Osho a little bit, no? And Osho said he used to go there in the night, sit next to him, just in silence. And of course, this enlightened being, Mega Baba, he felt that this young child, so sensitive, so available, so open, so receptive, of course he felt compassion, he felt love for him. So they started this intimate relationship that nobody knew about, no? So it must have been great help for Osho at that time to have somebody who was really established in that space. And when Mega Baba saw how beautiful this and how intelligent Osho was, then he must have felt that Osho could do much more for the world, because that was not his role. Mega Baba was just roaming around. In fact, he always wanted to escape when people came around, which many of the saints were. Many wants to escape, no? Because why do they want to escape from people? Because they love their silence. They like their peace. And whenever you go with the people, it's going to be bound to be some problem, some misunderstanding. And trying to explain people also, no? So in a way, this is how also it was for me, because for years, I lived very silent, very quiet, mostly in the Himalayas. And then slowly I realized that this life is not for that, no? So it was like that. But I resisted a bit, but what to do? It's fine. And that was also the teaching for this life, from my master, that you should live in the world, but not be touched by it. No? That's the Soba, the Buddha, that's the new man. And that's how I live. So, did I answer your question?
Yes, yes.
Much more.
The second question she made was answered already on the first question. So I will ask.
Yes.
But that's how it is sometimes, no?
Yes.
I just fire one arrow, but I hit many targets. Huh?
It's a strike.
Yes. How did that happen? Yeah, because everybody I connect with something that is deeper than your thinking mind, no? And that part of your being knows. That knows. And that is what the master is there. That's what the guru is there for. To reconnect you with your essence. Then, where's the questions then? So you have to stick to your script now and see what's the next.
If there is any.
Huh? What?
If there is any question left, yeah.
Yes.
My question is, in my practice of meditation, I see my mind wandering, and I get lost in a dreamlike state,
Yes.
very often.
Yes.
So I would ask you some advice to get more rooted in the present and more present even.
Yes. So, how is it now, in this moment?
Absolutely here.
Yeah. And how did that happen?
Wow, just being with you.
Okay. So, that's the real answer, That's the real answer. Because you can do any technique and any meditation, and Osho gave so many techniques and meditations, no? So on one level, I could tell you that maybe you start trying some different technique, because as you go, everybody gets settled. It becomes a habit. Whatever techniques they use, whatever meditation they use, it becomes a habit. And then you start falling asleep. So maybe try something new, something to shake yourself up, yeah? But the master technique for a true seeker or for a disciple is satsang. No doubt about that. Is to be with the master. Because if you want something, you go to the source. You have to go to somebody who has it. If you want to get warm, it's not enough to look at the picture of a fire. It won't make you warm. You have to go to the fire, no? It's like that. And if you are lucky, if you're really open, then that fire will burn away all your impurities, no? All your problems. So that is the master technique. I have to tell you, because you asked for the interview, and then I asked, what is it? This Abiru, he's living just 5 hours away. Then I said, let him come here, it's good. It's been the corona time, you've been a lot in the apartment, playing it safe like this. But hello, the world is happening. And it's better to die in searching freedom than to live in security and lies. You have to have some courage. So that was a little trick from me. I have to share it with you, huh? Because now we start getting to know each other a little, no? So then I said, invite him, he can come here, you can get out of the house, just drive here in your private car, have a meeting, because I knew that if you had if anybody who is open, who is seeking, would meet, something would happen, no? Something would happen. But you tasted that even through this, no? You tasted that even through that. So that is the truth, that nothing is better if you want to be warm to go to the fire, no? Nothing is better than satsang. Nothing is better for the seeker, for the disciple, than to be with the master, because then it goes beyond all technique. That is people don't know about that before it have happened, no? That's why they have many misunderstandings, because they think about the guru, the master from the mind. Then, then you project. I don't want to surrender, I don't want to do this. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with getting warm, to ignite that space in you. And you cannot, even if you want to learn mathematics, if you want to learn playing the guitar, if you want to learn to drive a car, what do? You go to somebody who knows how to do it. Huh? Isn't it? So, if you want to learn about essence, to presence, silence, bliss, joyful living, you go to somebody who has it, who does it, who lives like that, no? And falling in tune with that person, that takes you beyond all technique, all meditation. It happens. It happens in spite of you. It just comes sneaking up on you. You follow?
Yes.
Yeah. Sunday morning. Okay. Divya. Hey, Divya.
Vamos lá. Today I feel with greater access to the present, but at the same time, so distant from a realization or enlightenment.
Yes.
Except for a few moments of glimpses of being merged with all matter. It was so strong. But they are transitory passages. As if my ego did not allow me a longer stay.
Yes.
In these states.
Yes.
How can you answer so? But how can I get rid of the fear of being my own essence?
Yes. You managed to ask the question. That was pretty good. Because in a way, you have gone beyond that question now. But I will answer it because the mind will still come back, no? So I will answer it. You said, I have been in Osho Sannyasam for 26 years. I immersed myself deeply in therapies and meditations. Today I feel it's easier to be in the present, but at the same time distant from a possibility, a realization, enlightenment, except for a few glimpses, few moments where I feel merged with everything. But they are transitory moments, as if my ego did not allow me a longer stay in these states. How can I get rid of the fear of being my own essence and consciousness? This is this will come up for every true seeker. And it's very tricky because we want freedom, no? We want happiness. We want peace. But that is on that conscious mind. That is still your personality. On a deeper level, in an unconscious level, people are afraid. Because what happens? What happens when that happens? The ego goes. The mind goes. And that is the fear that is holding everybody back. Because who are you without the mind? Who are you without this personality? Yeah? So this is the fear. So of course the ego will fight. So it happens that you have an insight, you have a realization, you have a blissful moment, everything gone. But then the mind comes again. Be careful, you know. Or that was just a dream. Yeah? That was just an illusion. That was just an experiment, an experience. But the reality is that that glimpse is the real, yeah? Which in your heart and soul you know it's real because it took away all your worries. You were at home in your presence. So how to get that? So in the beginning, we don't know what we are seeking, no? Then you have a glimpse. Then you are amazed, wow, this is so beautiful. Then you want more. But it is the ego who wants more. So now the whole conscious searching, seeking happens. Because you have to be, one has to be very, very intelligent, courageous, and have this longing that you really want to be free. You see that the mind will come, the fear will come, but in spite of that, I'm willing to go beyond. Then you come to it's almost impossible to go beyond your own mind. Again, in my own experience, I come back to the Master, back to satsang, back to being in tune. In a way, you need to find someone, and that is the art of the seeker, to find someone that you opens your heart, no? To open your heart and you get in touch with that essence that is there, beyond any fear, any problem, that you feel at home. And then the art of the master discipleship is that you start falling in love. You start falling in love with that being, that trigger that, no? And it gives you trust, it gives you more love. So, like Osho said, you need to find someone that you love more than yourself. Because yourself is just the old. You are still entangled with the old, which is the fear. And the new will take you beyond that, and that is the master. He will take you out of that, no? Take you beyond that. And that goes beyond any technique, because any technique, any meditation, any therapy, you will still, it's still the mind, it's still the personality who does it. And you need something that takes you into a different dimension of yourself, which only this alchemy between this love affair between the master and the disciple, or between an enlightened one and a disciple can happen. Because then you start trusting, you start feeling those spaces, and the most you have of those spaces where there is no fear, then more trust will happen spontaneously. So maybe the fear, the mind comes back, but you know. Then it happens again, and again and again. And before you know it, it has shifted. Less and less fear, more and more love. Till it totally have shifted. Only love, no fear. It's like that. You know it, you have to come now. That is your seeking. That is how people, we go on why it's so difficult, because it's almost impossible to go beyond your own mind, no? But then existence, like Osho met Mega Baba, I met Girda, Papaji, Ramesh, many people on the path to help integrate this, to understand it, no? That's how existence is. No, you are here. I'm here. No problem now, eh? How are you now?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. And that's, when you don't know, that is the beginning. Because when you don't know, you are open, no? You are open, you are receptive, you are innocent. So let go of all knowledge, and this is the art, and it's so difficult if you don't feel more and more that space that gives you that courage, that power to go against yourself, because all voices in your head, all voices from the past, from society, from parents, from yourself, all that has to go. Then you are left in this innocence, this I don't know, this wonder. And that is your presence. To be, you asked about this presence that the ego disturbs, no? Because the ego is never here present. When you are present, then you get the presence. So that is the essence of all meditations also, to just to be present. When you are present, you get the presence. And when you have a presence, you are with everything else that has a presence. And if you are sensitive, you feel that presence from humans, from animals, from the tree, from the flower. Everything has a presence. And it's so beautiful, so silent, beyond any language, any talking, any words. It is just there, always, just the presence, like pulsating with presence, with God, with existence. Even this little fly, he must have a presence, but he's a little annoying. So the masters, they talk out of their compassion, their love, because for some receptive, sensitive souls, they get touched, they get it. They get the taste of that beyond words. Hmm? And that's why they talk to those people that get ignited again. Otherwise, why talk? It's so nice to be in silence. It's so nice to be in presence, just to relax into your own essence, into your own Buddha nature. No? But we need more Buddhas, so they talk.
You come to next to the fire to get warm and even being burned. So would you talk to us about your work and your Sangha a little?
Well, first of all, there is no work. There is just the play, because it's nothing serious. And it all happened very spontaneous. So we have a beautiful place in the mountains of Norway, and we have a beautiful place here in Brazil on the beach. And in some mysterious ways, it's happening. I don't know what to say. In spite of not, yeah, is the people longing for themselves, for peace, for truth, like this, be together. It's always been like that, no? So when you have a flower, the butterflies and the bees, they will come. So it's like that. So I think around everybody who has awakened, people will start coming. Those people who feel attracted. Hmm? Then of course some is more ready than others. Huh? You have many different layers of people, no? Because everybody is enjoying. Even when I went to eat in a local restaurant the other day, and then the owner came and she said, "Oh, it's so blessed to have you here. It's so beautiful." And I don't even know this woman. She's not a sannyasin, no? But she felt something, she sensed something, you know? She have heard something. So this is beautiful because people are receptive. And then you have always disciples that is totally there, 100%, which is very beautiful because then they are receptive. And then you have some that is lukewarm, and then you just have some that is hanging around. It's like that everywhere, like that in Pune also. Yeah? I always were with my master because of the master, nothing else. You have to be focused on the source. If you fall in love with the source, you get the source. And you have to allow the master to kill you. Because the master is only love. So how would it be to be killed of love? Of love by itself?
That's the best.
That's the best.
Death.
Yes.
The best death you can
Yes.
have.
Yes. But you have to allow that. And you cannot do that from the mind. It's a alchemy, it's a mystery, how that happens. I guess we call that grace, if that happens, no? So the seeker has to go through a process of seeking, of doing, of purification, and then just an openness, receptiveness. Thy will be done. Inshallah. Hari Om. Jai Bhagavan. Like that. And that's the same for me. I don't see it as a work, but many times I go to satsang, I go to have meetings. I don't know what is happening, you know. I have nothing to talk about. That's why I need questions, because I can respond to the questions, no. Well, I would just, for me, they can have corona another 2 years, fine. I'm fine here. Just doing nothing. I have a beautiful place. We can go to the beach. It's not like some poor people, they stay in Porto Alegre or São Paulo and New York. Then it's difficult to go out, no? Difficult to feel the life. So that is another reflection. People have a hard time now because they have difficulty to be with themselves. So they have to reflect on that, and they also have to reflect on where do I live? What am I doing? And in Brazil is still so much beautiful place. Every day I go in the forest, in the beach, hug the tree, lay on the grass, talk with the birds, with the flower. Everything is fine. But in the mind of people, it's fear. It's a fear in the society, in the world. No? So come back to yourself. Come back to that which is beyond the mind, the thinking. Now, in this moment, being here together. Is there any fear?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you.
It's just like a dance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am a dancer. I am a dancer and I'm also sitting silently. Both. Even if I sit silent, I'm dancing. Anything, Divya?
Anything. Nothing. Anything, nothing. Nothing.
Well, I think I would like you to leave a message to all of us. And I mean, in this period of Corona, as you just mentioned, could you leave a message to us?
Yeah, that I can.
More message.
One more.
I think I said everything that is to say, but focus on your heart, not the mind, because the mind has so many problems, so much fear, and everything else. Come back to your heart. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. In reality, there is no fear, there is only love, there is only peace. And if I have any message, it will be, I love you. May everyone realize that and be happy. Aum.